guys, welcome to another episode of You Can Do It Too. Today we're going to build a super easy hummingbird feeder. This hummingbird feeder only needs a couple quick things to make. One thing you're going to need is a to-go container like this. You see, this to-go container has a snap-on lid, which is important because what we're going to do is tie our strings straight through the lid. So you want to make sure that that lid's going to be held on tight and it's not going to fall out of your tree. Another thing you're going to need is some kind of to-go lid. You see, you can use one like this. I prefer this kind because it's flat and it's a little bit easier to cut the flower petals out of, which is what we're going to use it for. Or you can use one like this. See how this has the little ridges in it? That's okay. If you only have these, you can still use these. You'll just have to cut all of your little flower petals out of the center instead. Another thing you need is some super glue. You can either get regular super glue or you can get the gel super glue. The gel is a little bit better because it holds the flower petals when you stick them to the lid better in position, as opposed to getting a liquid which you have to sit there and hold until it dries. And it doesn't take long to dry, so it's not that bad. But if you want to just kind of stick them on there and leave it, I would get the gel and then give it a little bit longer to dry. Another thing you'll need are some scissors and a drill. A drill with a nice size bit. This is a 9/64 bit, but if you get one about, I would say maybe an 1/8 inch bit, that would work perfect. This is going to make your process a lot easier. If you don't have a drill though, you can always get a nail or a knife and heat up the end of the knife and poke a hole through the plastic with that. Just be very, very careful if you do that. You don't want to burn or stab yourself. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, the first thing we're going to do in this project is drill the holes in our lid. Now, you want to drill your holes. I marked these with a marker so you could see a little better. See, we have a hole on either end, which is where our strings are going to go, and then the two holes in the lid are where our flowers are going to go. And you just want to drill a hole in each of these spots. Make sure whenever you're doing the ones on the outside, you put them right in the center. That way your hummingbird feeders will sit nice and level. So let's go ahead and get that done. And voila, see those holes? And we're ready. Now, next thing you're gonna do is get your scissors and your lid, and we're gonna cut some flowers out. All right guys, now with your lid, the first thing you wanna do is cut off any edges. That way you can make the lid nice and flat. That's gonna make it much easier to cut your flower petals out. And when you're cutting these flower petals out, all you wanna do is basically cut the shape of a guitar pick, or if for some reason you haven't seen a guitar pick before, it's about the shape of a spade. Let me see. Just like that. And voila, we have a little flower petal. Now we're gonna cut 8 of these out. All right, now once you have all of your flower petals cut off, what you want to do is take each flower petal and you want to bend the tip of it up. Just give it a little bend with your fingers, and that will look something like that. You see how it has a tiny little bend in it? And that's where you're going to stick it to your lid. Now let's go ahead and do that. Just get your super glue, put a little bit on that front tip triangle, and you're gonna stick it right around the edges of your holes. Let's go ahead and get that done. All right, now as you can see, I've glued my flowers to the lid. They're all cut and they're bent up a little bit, so there's an edge for the hummingbirds to stand on. And don't worry, if you get the points of the flowers over your hole to get them nice and close like that, that's okay. What you can do is just drill them out after the glue has dried. So let's go ahead and move on. We're almost done. Quick, isn't it? Now, I almost forgot, we are gonna need one more thing. We're gonna need a little bit of string to hang our hummingbird feeder with. Now, all you wanna do, for me, I'm using a shoelace, easy enough. All you wanna do is cut pieces that are about close to a foot long. Maybe a little bit longer, see? And you'll take these strings and tie a quick knot in the end of them. Just tie the knot as close to the end as you can and snip off any excess. Now, you're gonna take your string and you're gonna put it through those outside holes, just like that. Now, once you've got your strings through, as you can see, it's just gonna hang just like that. So we'll have our to-go container with the sugar and water in it hanging from our tree. And voila, you have a hummingbird feeder. Now with this, just tie your knot up at the top like this. And once again, cut off any excess. And just like that, we have a hummingbird feeder. Now with your mixture for your hummingbird feeder, all you need to do is do 1 part sugar, 4 parts water. Easy enough. I hope this works for you guys. It worked for me. But until next time, have a great day. You can do it too.